Biden's student loan forgiveness trick. Biden administration announced in October 2022 that it will automatically forgive student debt for 804,000 federal borrowers. How much exactly? Does it matter? $1 million each. $10,000 each. It makes no difference because it was not meant to work at all. It meant to swing the critical midterm election taking place in November 8, 2022. Why is this election critical, and to whom? I will speculate and try to name a few. 1. Joe Biden, the President of the United States and the leader of the free world. 2. Hunter Biden, his son, a notorious pervert, drug addict, provider of access to the key political and business decision makers in Washington, D.C. Deeply corrupt individual. 3. Biden's family members, number of whom are in deep business relationship with the above and many international conglomerates. 4. Donald Trump, the 45th President of USA, and a man who is under titanic pressure from the members of Democratic Party and from members of Republican Party who do not want him to run for office in the future and not to dispute alleged election fraud committed in the 2020, which did not allow the 45 to begin his second and final term, where his historic task is to drain the swamp and to ousted the deep state, the neocons, the globalists, and many other conspirators who occupy and penetrate the US political system. This conspiracy is illegal, dangerous, and anti-constitutional. 5. The deep state, uni-party, neocons, globalists, lobbyists, defense contractors, big pharma, and other Satanists and near groups. 6. Millions of Americans, Europeans, and others who are drugged into financial and economic crisis as well as raging conflicts around the world. 7. Hundreds of thousands of dead Ukrainians and Russians. Long story short, Biden handlers realized fully well that all kinds of allegations, facts of corruption, perversions, extortions, and all the possible sins are already pouring on the syndicate from every direction, starting from Hunter's laptop, going into whistleblowers, IRS, intelligence agencies, from their own family dealings, business partners. This will eventually result in impeachment's Article 2, Section 4 of U.S. Constitution and possible conviction of some or all individuals found criminally liable. This would destroy financial prosperity for the Klan. This would also prompt further investigations which would eventually lead to even darker, satanic depth of conspiracy and corruption. And more importantly, this would destroy the enormous ego of one man. To briefly summarize the requirements for impeachment, Article 2, Section 4 of U.S. Constitution. Section 4. Impeachment. This section establishes the process for the impeachment and removal of the President. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States can be impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors. The House of Representatives has the sole authority to initiate impeachment proceedings, while the Senate conducts the trial. A two-thirds majority vote in the Senate is required to convict and remove the President from office. Article 2 of the Constitution is a key component of the system of checks and balances within the U.S. government. It delineates the powers of the executive branch while also defining mechanisms for oversight and accountability through the impeachment process. The article has guided the role of the President and the scope of their authority since the founding of the United States. Returning to the extent the Hive of the Dem Party went to reach the minimal accepted result for the election to continue to block the impeachment for Biden is enormous. 1. Alleged manipulation and fraud. 2. Using all issues and lying through the teeth to the electorate. 3. Special elections. 4. LGBTQ issue. 5. Lies about the economy. 6. Roe v. Wade abortion decision leaks May 2022. 7. Russia-Ukraine issue was heavily leveraged to aid Democrats because the Republican side leaned towards less support equal less death, with exception of war hacks and neocons who are super hawks and will start wars in any place, nation, region they can reach. 2. 8. And finally, Biden's illegal bait and switch lie to forgive student loans for the Dems' base voters. The results of this scam were as follows. House of the Representatives is in control by Republicans with +9 seats, which is much less than expected. All seats are for 35 seats. Speaker McCarthy replaced Nancy Pelosi, who is now retired. This gain makes initiation of impeachment possible. Senate is in control of the Democratic Party, with 1 seat gained. This seat was gained by John Fetterman, a man and a tree. This man suffered a stroke and can barely speak to this day, otherwise would be considered at least partially handicapped. The projections before the elections were that Republican Party will produce a red wave and would be in control of the Senate. The overwhelming victory was needed by Republicans to secure the 2/3 majority and to convict the president and to remove him. It's hard to point to exactly what of the above speculations actually had effect, if any, on the complete miss on part of projected results to produce the red wave and to out the current president forms the White House legally. But the election produced the results which made the impeachment and the following conviction and removal impossible for the time being. The crime in this, aside from other crimes, is that the Biden White House knew that the forgiveness is a moot point, that it will not pass the courts, and that it has no economic benefit even if it somehow did. It a deliberate manipulation aimed at the straggling segment of society who was lied to in the very beginning and tricked into signing their life away for a promise of education which in turn did not provide any returns. These people believed their captors again and went to cast their vote to keep them in power, where they are swimming in bribes, lobbies, foreign interest, and blood of innocents across the globe. Well, these tricks worked. For now.